Hey guys, welcome back to Life by the Bow. As you can see, the boat's sitting at the dock today. It's pretty windy, so we're not going to be spending any time offshore, but since the boat's here in the water, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to dock a single engine boat today. So let's go ahead and get to it. So we just pulled away from the dock and right now we're going to pull back in, but one thing I just want to tell you guys is I want to do all of this in real time, so it's as close to a real world situation as possible. But before we actually pull into the dock and we start talking about docking, there's some things I want to talk about. First things first, you want to make sure that your motor's trimmed all the way down, because when your motor's all the way down, your jack plate's all the way down, you're going to have the maximum amount of control over your boat. If your motor were to be trimmed up, you won't be able to control your boat as well, per se, if your motor were trimmed all the way down. So that's number one. If you can trim your motor all the way down, trim it all the way down. Obviously, sometimes it gets shallow. You may not be able to do that. So just do what you can. Now, the next thing I'm going to start thinking about is where I'm actually going to put my bow. In this situation, it would be very easy to just pull right in, tie up the boat, call it a day. But one thing that I always like to do, and I suggest that you guys should do too, is always point your bow into the waves, because the bow of a boat is a lot lighter than the stern. So you're more prone to take a wave over the stern than you are over the bow. And ultimately, we just want to make sure that when we're docking our boat, that we're docking it in a situation where the boat is most safe. So right now we're pulling up inside of our cut, and we want to make sure to stay inside of this cut because, like I mentioned, our motor's trimmed all the way down, and we want to make sure we're not getting outside of it because there's potential that we could hit bottom with our lower unit. So we're going to pull straight in here, and then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spin the boat around, and I know that the wind is pushing me in towards the shore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a turn to the right, and I want to turn it as much as possible, and I want to continue to turn until the bow starts to get pushed to the starboard side. So we're going to keep on turning, turning, turning. As you can see, we're running out of room here, so we're going to put it in reverse, and then we're going to spin the motor the opposite way. And now we're pulling the boat away from the flat. But now once we've gotten to this point, we can almost stop, because as I mentioned, the wind is pushing us this way into the seawall. So what we can go ahead and do is we can turn the motor the other way, and we can start moving forward because that bow is naturally going to get pushed over towards the seawall. So we don't have to worry about trying to go in reverse anymore. So now at this point, what we want to do is, before we get too close to the seawall, we want to regain control. And what I'm doing, notice the wind is pushing me into the seawall. I almost want to start pointing my bow at a 45-degree angle away from the shore. And as I mentioned, that wind wants to push my bow and my entire boat over. So this is what's going to help me to keep this boat off of this seawall. And it's a really slow process, guys. This is not supposed to be quick. You don't want to dock your boat quick because that's when you run into issues. And something to keep in mind too, if you ever feel like you're in trouble, just put the boat in neutral and just push. Obviously, pushing can be dangerous sometimes. So if you're going too fast, you have to use your best judgment to just leave the boat. Sometimes damaging your boat is better than damaging your body. So always make good decisions and always take things slow so you don't have to run into issues like that. But as you can see at this point, we're in a pretty good spot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start heading towards the dock, kind of at a 45-degree angle. Now that I have momentum going forward, I'm going to turn to the left a little bit, and that's going to push the boat towards the dock. And now that I've gotten this close, I'm going to turn the motor the other way, and it's in reverse, and now I'm pulling the boat towards the dock. And that's it, just like that. So for those of you that don't know, this is my wife, Stephanie. She's been filming the entire time, and she's been keeping notes, and she's here to prove that the girls can do it just as good as the guys. So for all the wives and girlfriends watching at home, Stephanie says this one's for you. So here we go. She made it inside of the cut, so she has enough depth to have her motor trimmed all the way down. so that way she has as much control as possible. And you're probably thinking, well, why don't you make this turn away from the dock? Why do you go parallel to the dock and then turn away? And the reason why she's doing that is because right here it's deep, and just to the left of us over there, it's shallow. It's probably about a foot, and this boat needs about 2 feet in order for that lower unit not to hit the bottom. And she's doing great right now. So now she's parallel to the seawall here. I'm not going to tell her what to do. Let's just see if she does it right. As you can see, she's keeping that angle like I was talking about earlier. Let's see if she's got it. Let's see what she does here. Aha, you see, she's doing it right. She started to make her turn there. Nice and perfect. Boom. Good job. You did it. Woohoo! Good job. So I hope you guys took away something from this video. Obviously, every docking situation is different, but I hope some of the tips that I shared with you guys can help you in any situation that you may be facing when it comes to docking a boat. Just always remember, you always want to come in at that 45-degree angle. Once the bow makes just a little bit of contact, then you want to put the boat in reverse, spin the wheel towards the dock, and then pull that back end in, and then your boat should be docked perfectly fine. But at the end of the day, I understand it's not always that easy. We always run into trouble, and sometimes we make mistakes, so it's okay. If you mess up, just push off, just go ahead, try again. That's ultimately what it's about. It's better to get it on the 5th, maybe even 10th, 20th try than to do something out of your control and potentially damage your boat or put somebody in harm. So always take your time, always make good decisions, and just always make sure that everybody inside of the boat is helping you dock rather than dancing or standing up or just doing something that they shouldn't be doing. They should always be helping you out. But hope you guys enjoyed this. If you aren't already subscribed, go ahead, hit that button, give this video a like. Check out some of our other fishing videos. I promise you guys won't be disappointed. But till the next video, see you guys then.